Welcome to our 4-part series on formative assessments in education. In part 1 of the series, we focused on the meaning of formative assessments, the importance of feedback in connection to learning, and how best to use them in the face-to-face classroom. In part 2 of this series, we focused on building relationships in connection to learning and how best to use them in the online classroom. In part 3 of this series, we continue to look at their connection to learning and how best to use them in the language classroom. Part 4 of 4, Formative Assessments and the Math Classroom. In Part 4 of this series, we continue to look at their connection to learning and how best to use them in the math classroom. At the end of this video, you can sign up to receive our free guide on the types of assessments in education for building confidence in teaching and learning in the classroom. How can assessments work to enhance math skills? When students understand how assessments work in building skills, especially problem-solving skills, then students will gain confidence when faced with such assessments during math lessons. Math assessments are more defined in that they provide their own form of feedback without the teacher. How the teacher uses formative assessments in the math classroom makes a world of difference for students. When assessing students' knowledge on math topics, teachers should have students communicate their answers in full, showing how they got their answer each step of the way. Teachers and students can then see where mistakes were made along the way, rather than just using the answer as the assessment. One thing students appreciate is when math teachers recognize their efforts for starting to answer a question. Students are shown how to answer the question, and so, by doing so, teachers can guide students to the right answer. Students do not like it when teachers give them a 0 for giving an answer. Instead, they help the students by explaining the question and how to approach answering the question, so the students can see their mistakes as they go along in answering the question. Of course, the right answer to math questions is very important, but in order for students to connect more to the subject and reduce anxiety, especially with summative assessments, how students get to the answer using problem-solving skills matters much more. Therefore, teachers can use formative assessments in math class to help guide student learning when looking to problem-solve questions in math. In the next video, we will focus on the meaning of summative assessments, their connection to learning, and how best to use them in the classrooms. For more educational videos on teaching and learning, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to EduKitchen Recipes for Learning. And until next time, keep learning and have fun. Thanks for watching.